Hey guys, DMS here. Today I have for you the Sennheiser IE100 Pro. Let's check them out. Now do me a favor, if you want to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. If you want to support the channel and ask me questions directly, you can on the Telegram chat, or you can get active in the community on Hi-Fi Guides. So this is a set of both wired and wireless IEMs at $150. Now just to note, Sennheiser did send over this IEM for me to review it. I'm not being paid or compensated in any way to make this video, and they accidentally sent me two, so I'm gonna give away the second one. So if you want the pair that I'm giving away, make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribed. I will pick someone probably in the next, I don't know, week. Okay, let's talk about these. Now I have the wire on them right now, but I also have the wireless adapter here. Wireless adapter is nothing fancy. This is pretty standard, I feel like, for a lot of wireless IEMs, but it doesn't feel bad. It has a USB-C connection on it, which is nice because that means I have to have fewer cables, USB-C all the things. The controls are pretty straightforward. The battery life is nice. In fact, I've been using these for a few weeks and I've only had to charge them once. That's with pretty heavy usage. The connections are not MMCX. They come off nice and easy, but still seem to hold pretty well. The construction of the IEMs is primarily plastic, so nothing too fancy, but the actual nozzle is pretty small. They come with a variety of tips, and I found that these, while slightly, very slightly larger than the IE300, are still extremely comfortable for my ears. And then they come with this little case. Power-wise, you can pretty much power these off anything, though I did get slightly better results when I used them with the Tone 2 Pro than when I was using them with the wireless adapter, but only really in terms of low frequencies. On the Bluetooth adapter, they are just a hair lean on bass, not overly so, but it's a little bit thinner than when I use them on a proper amplifier, even though they are extremely efficient. I assume this is so the Bluetooth device can save power. But really, I'm pretty happy with the overall sound quality of this Bluetooth adapter, and for the convenience of it, I don't mind. I'd be happy with using these at the gym or on the go or anywhere where I just need sound portably. The isolation is actually very great. Once you get a good seal, they stay in pretty comfortably. It gives them a nice black background to work with, without the need for active noise canceling. So pretty typical of a good fitting IEM. Now let's talk about sound, since I know that's what you guys are all here for. That's what we care about. How do these hold up? Well, not bad, honestly. $150 is a pretty competitive price range, and there's a lot of good IEMs out there, like the ones from Final. I would say that Final's IEMs would win out on these in soundstage, though the tuning and tonality of these and some level of technicality is pretty impressive for their price point. I'm going to compare these to a pair of over-ear headphones. As far as tuning is concerned, these remind me a lot of the 560S, which I gave a lot of praise to. They feel very neutral with a slight leaning towards treble. Bass is still there, it's well extended, and there are songs where I notice a significant amount of sub bass, but it's certainly not emphasized and certainly never boomy or overly punchy. But I do feel like the bass is fast and reasonably textured on these. Not as textured as a Nana or an IE300, but certainly enough texture for me to be happy with it. I feel like the focus of this IEM, though, is not really on bass. I feel like the focus of its performance is through the mids and treble, and it's a very airy sounding IEM. So if you don't like treble presence, if you look for something warmer and darker, this might not be to your taste, but I found that while this does have a bit more of a treble leaning tonality, it was still very smooth, very pleasing, and only on very poorly mixed and poorly recorded songs did I ever notice any sort of harshness to this extra treble energy. This is kind of a recurring theme with some of Sennheiser's more neutral headphones, things like the 800S, the 560S, or these. They all seem to have a similar treble characteristic, though I wouldn't ever say that the 560S or these are quite as bright as the 800S can be at times. I'm still very, very happy with how much air they have. I actually have a video coming on the 800S soon. Make sure you stick around and subscribe because you don't want to miss that one. Let's talk a little bit about sound staging. These have a lot of air on top, and I feel like that contributes a bit to the scale of the staging. Now, these are not massive, but the separation within that stage is very good. The imaging is pretty decent. I wouldn't say the imaging is insane. It's not quite as good of imaging as the 560S, and the staging isn't quite as good as the 560S either, but I can certainly see this being a trickle down from that same sort of staging, imaging, and overall tonality. So the staging is good. I'm plenty happy with it, and while it doesn't go out massively into space, I do get a good bit of separation within that staging, within this space as well, and that instrument separation is very easy to pick out things. So if I'm trying to listen to one particular instrument or listen to the singer, or really pull things apart, separate them without having to deal with a lot of overlap, they've done that pretty well, and I feel like that, as well as its neutrality, helps to accomplish the point of a professional IEM, which is what this is marketed as, is a professional IEM. This is a pretty easy recommendation for someone who wants something for professional applications and doesn't want to use a full-size headphone like a K361 or a HD560S, or if you just need something that you can take with you on the go. Likewise, I think that it's also a good IEM for someone who wants a high fidelity experience, maybe not necessarily the audiophile experience of like the Canera Nana, but a high fidelity, true to the original source experience in a small and mobile package, and with Bluetooth at that. So overall, this thing at around 150 bucks, I think it's a great deal. I, for one, am going to continue using them, even though I have plenty of more expensive IEMs at my disposal. I like the tuning of them. I feel like it is pretty faithful to the original recordings without any massive alterations. I think the convenience is nice on this, so much so that I'm actually using these more than my AirPods Pros lately. The AirPods Pros are a little bit more convenient, but I just like the tuning of these more, and I like the comfort of them more. You know, maybe I'll do a video soon on the differences between audiophile headphones and high fidelity headphones. That'd be interesting. Now, there's so many IEMs on the market, I'm sure that there are probably ones out there in this price range that some of you will prefer more, and that is A-okay. I'm not saying this is the best thing on the planet, but I am drawing my conclusions as to where I like it, where it stands, and what it reminds me of, and why I'm going to continue to use it. Vocal presence on these is pretty good. Vocals sometimes can be a little bit thin, but it really seems to vary on recording because on others they sound very full-bodied. I would say things like Fleetwood Mac, Rumors sounds a little bit thin on these, but anything off of, well, God, any of Billie Eilish's work has a very full-bodied sound to it. But once again, those are differences that come down a lot to the mix. Billie's music is often mixed a little bit warmer, whereas a lot of the old Fleetwood Mac stuff is a bit more lean on the mixing. So, professional IEM, they do their job well. Very simple, short and sweet review. If you want to check out the finals that I mentioned, Josh did a review of those. I'll link his review down in the video description. You can check that out. But I think that is going to wrap this one up, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. A comment, let me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get active in the community, you can at forum.hifiguides.com. And as always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Until the next one, guys. Peace.